Hey everybody, this is Robert with RC1 Hobbies, and we're going to open up this brand new Traxxas Slash two-wheel drive short course truck. This truck is about as cheap as you can go for a Traxxas brand short course truck, because it doesn't have any official graphics with some race team or replica race truck graphics. No special wheels on it that have bead locks. This is a basic short course truck, but the electronics are the same as the truck one that's not brushless. This is a brush truck. So several brush trucks have, say, the Ford Raptor, the other Mike Jenkins authentic official race truck. Same electronics, same body, everything's the same, except, you know, you might have bead lock look tires and an official graphic body. Another thing that makes this truck really lower priced is my preference in this situation. I did not want a battery charger or a battery because I had my own. I didn't need to pay for their battery and their battery charger. I already have a battery charger. This is a very old battery charger, but I spent the money approximately 8 to 10 years ago for a nice battery charger, and I still can use this battery charger today. This is the typical battery that comes with the Traxxas truck. A 7-cell 8.4 volt nickel metal hydride 3000 milliamp hour battery, and this is the charger they usually give you, which you're limited because this is a DC charger and it uses a cigarette lighter type format to charge your battery, which is kind of a drag. This charger is an AC/DC charger, so I can plug it in my house and I can take it with me and use my car battery to charge my batteries if I need to. So just giving you that little bit of information. So let's get to opening up the Slash. Alright, so we're going to cut the tape. This end is taped. Open it up. And on this side, the first thing we see is the TQ 2.4 gigahertz radio. Top qualifier was TQ stands for. That's Traxxas name for this radio, they called it. And the radio comes with a couple of features: the throttle control here, steering control, and some program buttons, and the multi-steering trim here, the on and off switch, and put in the batteries right there. 4 AA's is all you need to get this radio going. So I'm going to continue unboxing one piece of styrofoam, and then here comes the truck. There it is. There's the truck with the owner's manual, with the bag of accessories. Has assortment of cool items. Traxxas is generous with their accessory bag. These are little shock preload spacers. You want to use those to make the suspension more stiff, ride higher, and some shock pistons in there. Extra spur gear and pinion gear. These are the two gears that are exterior to the gearbox. Traxxas gives you an extra spur gear and a pinion gear to help you go faster, with instructions and gearing ratio. A battery spacer made out of nice foam. This is good quality foam. Other accessories include white discs. These are vinyl discs that you can put on the body post here to keep the body post from reaming out as bad and getting torn, because that eventually will happen if you crash a lot. These body posts can get torn up. But with the Slash, it's usually not a problem. Typically the edges get beat up more down here. Usually gets beat up more. And there's some body pins that hold the body on. And right here there's already 4 body pins on top holding this body on. We'll get to that in a second. So here's some more accessories. The Traxxas model registration form that you can mail in, but you can do it online. I do it online. So you get a warranty registration. In order for them to know you bought the truck, I recommend you go online and register your truck. There is a serial number on this vehicle. We can show it to you in a minute. To find it and register it with Traxxas. Use the actual ID number also for the receipt. We'll tell you what model it is and all that. To where because it is kind of, they have so many models that are short course that it's important you get the right model and register it. Some extra decals, some cool stickers. You can see you can put a number there. It's kind of nice, and use these stickers anywhere you want. That's kind of generous. This is a nice manual that gives you instructions. Also, what's really good about this is if you open it up, it has parts in here to where if you break a part, this is really great. You find your part on this book, these exploded views. It isolates each part of the truck. Right here is the front assembly. You can look at the front end and find a part if you break it. Then the chassis parts, rear assembly, and then the transmission. If you break a part, this is basically every part that makes this truck a truck is here, and you can reorder it. The part numbers are right here. You simply call your local hobby shop and say, hey, I need a Traxxas part, and here's the part number, and they'll order it for you. So that's what's really cool. And also, they have a price list of how much the part actually costs right here. So that's nice. So if you find the part number, you look for it here. You can find out how much that part's going to cost you. Generally, the parts aren't expensive at all. Here's a little guide on if you buy a Traxxas battery charger. It's really a nice charger. But, you know, I don't use it. I already have a battery charger. And here is your quick start guide to get you up and running with your short course truck, which is nice. And I recommend you keep this filed away. All these things, keep it in a file. I always do, because you're bound to need them, which is a good thing to have when you run into issues and you want to resolve them. So here's our truck. We're going to take the body off by removing the body pins. And now we can remove the body and remove the protective plastic for the cool blue short course body. And there you go. The truck is ready to run. All you got to do is charge the battery, install it. Now they do have a long antenna here that needs to be assembled, which is minor. So I take my little utility knife, cut this tape off. Setups. The ESC on the Traxxas is really nice because it has 3 programs that are easy to program. I'll show you that in a second. Let's put the antenna in. It's pretty simple. I unscrewed this little nut. Then I slid the nut up over the tube, the antenna tube. And then I slide the antenna tube down into that spot where I removed the nut. And then I tighten the nut back down. And that holds the antenna in place. There we go. This will help your reception on long distances. It's not really necessary for short distances like on a racetrack that's close. I do this sometimes so you don't even see it. It's under the body. It's just curled down a little. Or if you're going to drive around the street and you want to go down in the neighborhood a little bit, you got the antenna sticking out. So I'm going to put in a battery and install a Traxxas battery. Here's my Traxxas battery. I'm going to install. There's another pin to hold the battery down. You just remove that pin and lift up this little battery retainer. You put the battery in with the plug facing the rear. put the retaining bracket back on. This holds the battery in place. You put the pin back in. One thing I do is I put a rubber band or a tether around this pin and just go around this shock tower body post thing. That way I don't lose that pin. Also, I usually put these pin keepers, body pin keepers, I install them in here so I can keep my pins from falling and getting lost. So here I can plug in my battery, red to red, black to black, make sure that's there, and then I got to get my AA batteries for my controller. Then you turn it on right there and the green light comes on, tells you it's a good charge on your batteries and they're ready. Now this truck should be ready to go. Let's power it up and see if I have enough power in this battery. And what will happen is there'll be a light that'll come on here. There we go. It goes green to red. And red in this case is what you want. Red indicates you want a nickel metal hydride battery in here. And this electronic speed controller can handle LiPos, so that's why it went from green to red. If it was on the green, you'd need to have a LiPo battery to run in it. It's safe to run the LiPo, and you'll be ready to go. So let's see what happens. Here we go. We got some power. So the truck's ready to go. In order to shut it off, you just hit the same button. There's just one button right here next to the red light. Let's do that a little closer. So here you go with your truck. One button. Green to red. Turn it off. Hold it. You're done. That's it. So there is a programming system in here to program it to run full speed with full brake and full reverse. There's also a race mode where you can program it to run full speed, full brake, no reverse, because of racetracks you're not supposed to use reverse in a racetrack. And then it has a training mode function, which is 50% forward, 50% reverse, and 100% brake. So that's good to hand to kids. This is what I use for RC blast parties for kids to use to race each other. So there you have it, the unboxing of the Traxxas Slash short course truck, two-wheel drive, brushed edition. So until next time, we'll see you later, and don't forget to visit our Facebook page and rc1hobbies.com.